Good morning, America, for our viewers in the West. A weekend washout for millions. Our exclusive with Kelsey Grammer and Anna Wintour in a big win for the Big Apple. Dangerous weather on the move. Overnight, a tornado touching down in Texas.
That's a tornado.
Parts of Oklahoma underwater. A community cut in half after catastrophic damage. First responders racing to help stranded drivers. Now, Ginger's tracking the severe weather and flash flood threats from Texas to New York.
In custody, the urgent investigation after police arrested a suspect accused of plowing into a group of people outside an after-school program.
Shakeup. President Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz out after being at the center of the Signal Group chat scandal.
Breaking overnight, a key tariff loophole closing on packages from China valued at $800 or less. What that could mean for the prices you pay.
ABC News exclusive. Kelsey Grammer one-on-one with Diane Sawyer.
She had some real stuff. She was the good stuff.
New details on the brutal loss of his sister nearly 50 years ago, battling unbearable sorrow and substance use while working on Cheers.
It's remarkable I survived some of that.
Why he felt compelled to tell her story now in his new book. What he hopes others will take from it. Only on GMA this morning.
Countdown to the Met Gala. My one-on-one with the Vogue editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour. You haven't locked it in yet?
Well, it's locked in, but, you know, locked in and happening are very different things.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, that makes me nervous. That really makes me nervous. Find out why I was so nervous. It's only on GMA this morning.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
And with less than 7 seconds to go, everybody knows his name.
Oh, yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it!
Jalen Brunson leading New York past the Pistons.
The Brunson burner ignited.
Just in the nick of time.
Sometimes you want to go where
Live from Times Square, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. What a game last night. I think I woke up the neighbors screaming. Yes, I think I did when Jalen Brunson hit that shot. The New York Knicks are moving on to the next round.
Big day in New York. You saw the Empire State Building lit up overnight with their colors. Well, Reeve is smiling as well. He'll have more in the NBA playoffs just ahead. We're also looking forward. We heard that music there from Cheers. Diane Sawyer's emotional conversation with Kelsey Grammer.
An extremely powerful conversation with Diane and Kelsey Grammer coming up. Also ahead, big problems at one of the nation's busiest airports. We'll tell you why and how it could impact your travel plans.
But we're going to begin with the unrelenting severe weather. Millions from Texas to New York are on alert, and Ginger's here with the latest, including the deadly flash flooding in Oklahoma. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, after the wettest April on record, more than a foot of rain for so many people, and several people that have died or at least had to be rescued this week. That's the last thing you want to see is more rain moving across Oklahoma, like Lawton, I-35 there, I-40. There are even flash flood warnings as we speak. That's the type that they say don't drive if you don't have to. Anywhere from there south of Norman, Ardmore included, and this is ahead of more severe storms today.
A tornado ripping through Texas Hill Country.
That's a tornado.
Almost all the way to the ground, though.
At least one person injured and 5 homes damaged in Burnett. In Lawton, Oklahoma, first responders using a raft boat to pull a couple out of their pickup after they drove into floodwaters and stalled out. 2 people died Wednesday when flash flooding swept them away in their vehicles. After the wettest April on record, Highway Patrol using airboats to navigate streets and check on people. South of Oklahoma City, in Blanchard, catastrophic damage, a community cut in 2. Our Maria Villarreal was there.
It's been raining here for days. The ground is soaked, and it actually gave way right here on this county road. You can see a 30-foot drop down, and actually families are on the other side, 10 of them stranded.
How do you get a road to collapse like that? You have 300% normal precipitation for the month of April. You see it from Oklahoma City down to Wichita Falls. Unfortunately, today, they still find themselves with that rain this morning, but then the elevated risk of flash flooding moves on. San Antonio, Shreveport, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, up to Jackson, Tennessee, almost to Nashville there. Memphis is included. That's also where you're going to find damaging wind, primarily. You could see a tornado spin up in here, but from San Antonio right up through Memphis, Birmingham, Alabama, and even Louisville, we're watching for those severe storms. This is a long week, so we will be tracking it right over to the east.
We know you will. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to an arrest in South Carolina after a man ran down 3 people outside a church, then led police on a 5-hour manhunt. 2 of the victims were children. Faith Abube is in Sullivan's Island, South Carolina with the latest. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, George. You can still see some of the damage right here behind me. It all happened in this church parking lot. Students and teachers, young children, all here in the middle of the school day when that vehicle slammed into the handicapped rail right here. And then the driver took off on foot, leaving behind that adult and 2 children with injuries. This morning, police investigating a terrifying incident outside a South Carolina Christian school, arresting a suspect after a car rammed into a group of people, some of them children.
We're being advised possibly 2 subjects that were run over.
Law enforcement rushing to the scene just before 1 p.m. Thursday in the coastal town of Sullivan's Island near Charleston, finding an adult and 2 children injured. Police say after the suspect, Justin Colin Adams, hit the victims with his car, he fled the scene on foot, armed with a knife. Authorities are investigating the incident as a possible intentional act. The search for the suspect lasting hours. Investigators deploying drones in the air and on the ground, going door to door, stopping every car in and out of the island. Eventually, police say one of their sergeants in a helicopter spotted Adams hiding on a boat at a nearby dock. This morning, he's facing several charges, including attempted murder.
That breeze that you may have felt was everybody on Sullivan's Island breathing a sigh of relief.
And George, this morning, all victims are expected to be okay, and that suspect is expected to face a judge as soon as this morning, George.
Okay, Faith, thanks very much. We're going to get the latest now on President Trump shaking up his foreign policy team. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is out. Of course, he was at the center of that Signal messaging app scandal, responsible for mistakenly adding a journalist to the group chat. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has that story. Good morning, Mary.
Hey, George, good morning. Well, just over 100 days into President Trump's second term, and we are now seeing the first major shakeup of this administration. President Trump telling Mike Waltz he's out as National Security Advisor. This morning, President Trump shaking up his national security team, ousting embattled National Security Advisor Mike Waltz from the role. Waltz created a major headache for the administration and a national security incident by starting a group chat with senior administration officials using the encrypted messaging app Signal to discuss highly sensitive details about military strikes in Yemen, and mistakenly adding a reporter to the chat.
I take full responsibility. I built the group.
While Trump said Waltz had learned his lesson.
Probably he won't be using it again, at least not in the very near future. What do you think?
Sir, I agree with you.
On Wednesday, cameras catching Waltz using the messaging app during a cabinet meeting, showing chats with Vice President J.D. Vance, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. In that same meeting, Waltz praising the president's leadership.
It's an honor to serve you in this administration, and I think the world is far better, far safer for it.
But 24 hours later, the president moving Waltz to a new position, announcing on Truth Social, "I will be nominating Mike Waltz to be the next United States ambassador to the United Nations." The White House downplaying talks of a demotion.
Donald Trump has fired a lot of people. He doesn't give them Senate-confirmed appointments afterwards.
Trump also announcing Waltz's temporary replacement, posting in the interim Secretary of State Marco Rubio will serve as National Security Advisor. The move catching the State Department spokeswoman by surprise when she was informed of the news by reporters.
It is clear that I just heard this from you. This is the magic.
No heads up that this was coming today?
That is the miracle of modern technology and the social media. So that is an exciting moment here. I think that, as I know Secretary Rubio, this is a man who, as I think you all know, has worn several hats from day one.
Rubio is now the first person to serve simultaneously as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor since Henry Kissinger in the Nixon administration. And in other news, in a major escalation of the president's feud with Harvard University, the president just moments ago announcing that it is stripping the university of its tax-exempt status, posting, quote, "It's what they deserve." It comes as the president has been pressuring the institution to change its policies and curriculum. Harvard, though, has argued such a move would be unlawful. George.
Yeah, it sure will. Meantime, Mary, a federal judge has said that the White House cannot use the Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelans.
Yeah, George, for the first time, a federal judge has declared that the president's use of this centuries-old law is unlawful. The Alien Enemies Act allows the president to deport non-citizens with little to no due process during an invasion. But this judge, a Trump appointee, is rebuking the president's claim that Tren de Aragua is invading the U.S. Now, this ruling is limited in scope, but it is the furthest any federal judge has gone so far. George.
Mary Bruce, thanks. Rebecca?
All right, George, thank you. We turn now to new questions about the president and his family's crypto business. Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, is here with the story on a newly announced deal that is raising questions. Good morning, Aaron.
Sure is, Rebecca. Good morning to you. President Trump has pledged to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. But this morning, this newly announced crypto deal is raising questions whether Trump is aiming to enrich the country or enrich himself. At a conference in Dubai attended by the president's son, Eric, Trump's cryptocurrency business announced a $2 billion investment from the United Arab Emirates, a transaction that could mean hundreds of millions of dollars for the Trump family. Ethics experts are already raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest because this is such a big contribution from a foreign government. But Trump himself has made no secret he's a champion of cryptocurrency, suggesting taxpayer money be used to create a crypto reserve and calling off regulators. And he and the First Lady have launched meme coins that have raised concerns about pay-to-play since Trump has touted exclusive access to investors, blurring the lines, George, between private enterprise and government policy.
In a way that's never been done before. Now, the president is not subject to conflict of interest laws, but he is subject to the Constitution.
And there are questions whether this amounts to an emolument that's improper, but so far Trump has been unabashed.
Aaron Katersky, thanks very much. Now to summer travel season about to take off. It's a shortage of air traffic controllers is causing big problems in one of the nation's busiest airports. Trevor Ault has that story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. We know this has been a long-term issue. The U.S. is still about 3,000 air traffic controllers short of where it needs to be. And we are really seeing some big problems heading into the summer travel season. Yesterday at Newark Airport outside New York City, they had an average delay of 5 hours with hundreds of cancellations. And a controller shortage and equipment issues are said to be major reasons why. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says this is an unsustainable situation even as hiring has been ramping up. So they're now rolling out new incentives that includes a $5,000 bonus for controller trainees and graduates at the FAA Academy. They also want to try to slow down early retirement. So for veteran controllers who are retirement eligible, they get a bonus each year that they keep working. It totals to 20% of their base pay. And also next week, federal officials are expected to announce some improvements to air traffic infrastructure. Secretary Duffy says at the current rate, it would take them 20 years to hire enough air traffic controllers. He's hoping with these new incentives, they can get that down to maybe 3 or 4 years, Michael.
All right, Trevor, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to new tariffs on goods from China going into effect overnight, impacting millions of American consumers. Now, Rebecca, you have the details on this.
Yeah, and it's really anybody who's shopping online, buying goods directly from China. Overnight, the administration closed this tariff loophole on packages from China and Hong Kong with a value of $800 or less. Until now, about 4 million of those so-called low-value packages entered the U.S. every day. They were exempt from tariffs and paperwork, but under an executive order recently signed by President Trump, that policy is now over. The administration says it took this measure in part to impede the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. These low-value packages now face a tariff of 120% or $100 per package fee. On June 1, that fee jumps from $100 to $200. Retailers like Temu and Shein have already passed the costs on to their consumers. They've made it known on their sites. If the increase is passed on exactly to consumers, a $10 t-shirt could become $22. A $200 luggage set could go up to $300. All this, of course, is still playing out because of the uncertainty over tariffs, but there are signs of higher price hikes. Bloomberg found a thick kitchen cleaning towel on Shein, it went from $1.28 to $6.10 with an additional 377% charge. Right now, Temu has some local items that are not impacted. If they're in a U.S. warehouse right now, they're not going to be hit with that tariff.
Can you just repeat this? So for each $800 is another $100 charge?
It's for what they're shipping into the U.S. That's what goes on at the customs position at the port.
Hard to see how that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Okay, Rebecca, thanks very much. Now to the choosing of the successor to Pope Francis. Cardinals are gathering in Rome as the church enters its final preparatory phase before the papal conclave begins. Maggie Rule is at the Vatican with that. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, George, good morning. Yeah, we're just 5 days away from the start of the conclave, and here in Vatican City, preparations are ramping up. Just this morning, we saw workers install the chimney on top of the Sistine Chapel. Guys, it is that chimney that will signal to the world when there is a new pope. Now, right now, most of the world's cardinals are all right here in Vatican City because, guys, it is this time leading up to the conclave that is so crucial. This is when the cardinals all meet in these near daily general congregations. It's where cardinals give speeches, and they all decide what qualities they want to see in the next pope, the future of the Catholic Church. Now, the cardinals aren't on lockdown yet either, so we're actually able to see these cardinals walking around St. Peter's Square. They're out at restaurants throughout Vatican City. Some will even stop and talk to us a little bit. You know, others are even posting on social media. Guys, look at this. American Cardinal Timothy Dolan from New York has been posting pretty much daily about what life is like right here in Vatican City. George.
And Maggie, this will be the largest conclave ever.
Yeah, George, that's exactly right. Right now, 133 cardinals are voting. 108 of them were appointed by Pope Francis. 10 of them are Americans. Now, all of them will be voting inside the Sistine Chapel, up to 4 votes a day until 2/3 of them can agree on who's pope. The ballots are burned. That smoke comes out of that chimney you just saw in the Sistine Chapel. Black smoke means no decision. White smoke means the world and the Catholic Church has a new pope. Guys.
Thank you, really. Thanks very much.
All right, we're going to go from the Pope to the NBA. How about that? How about that move? We had 2 exciting Game 6 matchups overnight. Will Reeve is here. Good morning to you, Will. Big Knicks fan. The Knicks are moving on.
I lay out my clothes. Good morning. I lay out my clothes every night before bed. The orange tie was a morning decision today once the Knicks won. Let's get into it. There's an award for NBA Clutch Player of the Year. Jalen Brunson won it this year. If for any reason you doubt he was worthy of this accolade, please direct your attention to the 4th quarter of last night's Game 6. Brunson and the Knicks on the road in Detroit. The Knicks up 3-2 in the series, and they were up 12 points in the 4th quarter. But the young, scrappy, and hungry Pistons came all the way back to take the lead. Were the Knicks really about to blow this and have to play a Game 7 in New York on Saturday? Well, enter the Clutch Player of the Year, Jalen Brunson. Bang, double bang, as a matter of fact, from Mike Breen on the broadcast. Just seconds remaining, putting the team on his back with that nasty crossover, sending Osar Thompson off the face of the planet. Look at it, whoop, right out of the frame. The 3 is cash. Brunson with 40 points. The Knicks hang on to win by 3. They're on to the 2nd round. They've got the Celtics, and the Clippers live to fight another day as well. They beat the Nuggets in LA, so we got a Game 7 there. It's all happening. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden balling out, and the playoffs roll on. The Knicks roll on.
That's all you care about.
No, I care about all of it. But
yeah, but the Knicks, your team.
I wear my colors.
Thank you, Will. Coming up, Diane Sawyer is here with her one-on-one with Kelsey Grammer. He opens up as he never has before about the loss of his sister and what he wants all of us to learn from the grief he's lived with. That's an ABC News exclusive.
And we also have my exclusive with Anna Wintour, ahead of fashion's biggest night out. She gave us the inside scoop on the Met Gala, what to expect from the celebrities, and the co-chairs.
Plus, we're on verdict watch in Prince Harry's UK security case.
Coming up, Kerry Washington and Omar Sy are here live in Times Square with us. We'll be right back.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up.
What a powerful voice. Little Flashback Friday right there, 2003. Josh Groban here on Good Morning America, and we heard him this morning as well. He was rehearsing because he is live in Times Square again today with a special performance. Diane, you were there.
I was
back
there.
in 2003.
I was there, and it still gives you a chill, doesn't it?
It does. It's incredible. And you're here right now because you have a very emotional interview with Kelsey Grammer.
I do. You know, I think We always knew he was an incredibly versatile actor. He's a singer, he does Shakespeare, and heaven knows he made us laugh for so many years. But what we never knew, and you're going to hear it, was the brutal detail of his sister's murder and how he struggled to live with a lifetime of grief. I want you to know that the facts are wrenching, but he says it's time to tell the story of someone he loved so much.
The eccentric, neurotic, hilarious.
Copernicus called, and you are not the center of the universe.
Dr. Fraser Crane.
Man talks endlessly on subjects that are of no interest to anyone but him.
Gee, I can't imagine what that's like.
For 20 years, we watched Kelsey Grammer on his own show, Frasier, and before that on Cheers, where Dr. Crane was the endearingly pompous misfit in America's favorite bar.
Hello, Sam. Are you people really this ignorant, or do you just do this to torture me?
Sometimes the two go hand in hand.
But all this time we were laughing. We had no idea that the actor in real life was drowning in an undertow of sorrow. His colleagues on Cheers saw him battling cocaine and alcohol.
It's remarkable that I survived some of that. I might be asleep on one of the benches in the Cheers set, and then when it was my turn, I'd just stand up and go do it.
It was tender and touching that they didn't know exactly how to reach you.
Yeah. No, well, who could?
Who could heal the brutal loss of a sister you loved more than anything? He's written a book about her called Karen.
She was an Oreo cookie dipped in an ice-cold Coca-Cola. She was a poem, a light, fun, innocent, and wise. Brave, a warrior, a sister, the best sister.
And you were older, but you say she was bolder.
She was. I was older, she was bolder.
He the sensitive kid, she the free spirit, urging him toward the adventure of being alive. The two of them had a loving mother and absent father, and as he, a year older, tried to be the little man of the house, he says, she gave him courage.
About Karen, you said, I had trouble seeing the good in myself, but she always did.
Yeah, she was. I don't know why I spent so much time feeling like I was coming up short. And I always felt like I was missing it, you know, just a little bit behind the game, not quite up to it. And she always reassured me I was doing a good job, that I was a good brother.
Eventually, he moved to New York to start his acting career. She traveled west to become an artist, but they stayed close. Then, one night, they'd been talking on the phone, making plans for a holiday visit, when 6 hours later, there was horror. There's a knock on his door. A policeman tells him his sister has been murdered.
1975.
Yeah.
50 years this July.
That's right. Yeah.
As we go back through this odyssey, you tell me if it's something you want to tell or if it's too hard. You'll tell me.
I'm fine to go through some of it, yeah. I had horrors in my mind that were craving the truth, what I knew happened, and to feel her steps, her final steps, to be in her, to be with her.
So he sets out to face all those searing details he tried to block out long ago. The summer when 3 men on drugs have been raging through Colorado on a killing spree, 7 people murdered, and one night, in an awful randomness, one of them was his sister, an 18-year-old girl standing in the parking lot of the Red Lobster where she worked. The men were going to rob the restaurant and decided the young girl could identify them, forced her into a car. In the book, he tells about reading the searing facts in the long police report for the first time.
Karen was put in the back. She was blindfolded at first. She kept saying, please don't let him kill me. Don't let them kill me.
They take her to an apartment.
Yeah.
They rape her.
They put her in a room, in a bedroom, and they went in and took turns with her.
And then they brought her back out and drove her
to this trailer park.
With a 4-inch blade, they struck her over and over.
42 times?
42 stab wounds, yeah.
And that loving brother, now a man in his 60s, even goes to the site where she was stabbed.
To the Red Lobster where she worked, to the parking lot where she was spotted, to the place where she was stabbed and crawled where she would die.
He learned from the police report how she fought to live while trying to crawl towards help.
She still crawled. Yeah. That was amazing. I'd never read that before, that her, the blood along some of the trailers that she walked along were at 3 feet high, so she was basically on her knees, trying to make her way to some help somewhere.
400 feet.
Yeah.
God, and the life force she had all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm. The fight that she had some real stuff. She was the good stuff.
All these years later, he stood at that crossroads.
I stood where I could not be so many years ago. And I cried out loud like a child whose hope had died.
And he says it was in these moments, after all the decades of suffering and trying to numb the pain, he could feel his sister urging him to write her story and move on from his grief about her death to the beauty of her life.
I spent a long time on her death and very little on her life. And that's what I hope people will take. Spend time on the life you lost. Spend time on the life you shared, rather than the day you lost it. The mission is to heal, but the mission is also to help heal other people. And by introducing them to Karen, it is my hope that they're reintroducing themselves to the loved ones they've lost in the same way.
Dedicated to the radiant girl in his favorite photograph, I was reminded of some lyrics he sang once for a musical about memory and the life still to live.
Let your memories melt into mist. They'll no longer exist in the new world. Bury your pain.
Boy, you sure resurrected something there. I keep this picture by my bed. She's by me all the time. This is your story, Karen. I hope you like it. Yeah.
And I thank Kelsey Grammer. 3 men were convicted of that murder. One of them is still in prison. Kelsey Grammer weighs in at every parole hearing to make sure he does not go free.
Well, the details there are just so wrenching. You can see it on his face. So why did he decide to tell the story now?
Well, you know, he did a program on mediums. You may have heard about, you may have seen some of it. He says you can believe it or not. But he felt a medium actually spoke for Karen and said she wants you to tell her story and she wants you to move forward with your life, and that he's holding that close to his heart. He said he loves the saying that it's a false choice between the glass half full and the glass half empty if you can refill the glass, and that's what he's trying to do.
And he does that by celebrating her life.
That's right.
Okay, thank you for coming in, so powerful. Kelsey Grammer's book, Karen, Her Brother Remembers, is available on Tuesday.
Now with another ABC News exclusive, Michael, the Met Gala is Monday, and you had a chance to sit down with the woman herself, Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour, ahead of fashion's biggest night.
Yes, I had a chance to sit down with the one and only Anna Wintour, and the theme this year is Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. And Anna gave me the behind-the-scenes scoop on how things are going with co-chair Pharrell Williams, A$AP Rocky, Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, and LeBron James. It is true that you know in advance what all the guests will be wearing?
No, many call and ask our advice, or we try and help some of them as best we can. No idea.
Well, Coleman Domingo said he texted you a photo of what he was wearing, and that
we had a discussion.
And
yes.
he quote, died with the response when you told him it was a work of art.
Yeah. It was his idea. It was a clever idea.
Have you seen the other co-chairs' looks yet?
Lewis, I'm not sure I entirely believe him, says he doesn't have a picture, but it's great. And Pharrell and Rocky have both described to me what they're wearing. It sounds perfect.
So your reaction is perfection, and you trust Lewis?
I trust Lewis.
Okay.
Lewis totally knows what he's doing. Yeah.
And I'm sure they all want your seal of approval.
Yeah.
What are some of the final things that you're trying to lock in place right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, the entertainment is always interesting.
And you haven't locked it in yet?
Well, it's locked in, but, you know, locked in and happening are very different things.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! All right, well that makes me nervous. That really makes me nervous. It really did make me nervous.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, she is, you know, it's a lot of stress putting on this Met Gala, but it's all for a good cause. Raised a lot of money for charity, and you know, she was so gracious. She was so fun. I can't wait for everybody to see the rest of the interview.
Yes, and it's coming on Monday,
yes.
The actual official day of the Met Gala. I'm curious if you were nervous at all what you wore to your interview with Anna
Absolutely.
Wintour.
You know, I was nervous, and I noticed that my team, they showed up to work really dressed up that day when they knew we were going to see Anna Wintour. So, yeah, it was really interesting. But you're always nervous because she is the beacon of style.
She's the audience, yeah. She's the one you want to impress.
Yep. I need to call every morning and see about what we're wearing on the show.
Selfies.
George,
let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Play Day music right there, and Play the Day Friday with Sam.
That music means Play the Day, George. So I'm still trying to land on the best name for this event. You could call it a Parade of Pups, maybe March of the Mini Mutts. How about Happy Hot Dog Hustle? Those are just some working titles. In the end, this story is about dozens of dallying dachshunds. Please ding every time I do this alliteration. Gathered together trying to fetch a record or a pun for the largest single breed dog walk. Now those little legs are really working in this walk because it's 500 dashing dachshunds descending upon Budapest, if you will. Now that was enough, as we all know, for the Hungarian record, because, you know, we know that. But it wasn't enough for the world record. So we're thinking here at GMA, we need to organize our own walk. And George, I believe you do have a dachshund. Is that Daisy?
Little Daisy, but
Right?
she's not very cooperative. And she was not happy yesterday when she saw me petting another dachshund right there.
Now we had two, so that was a long hair. So we're on our way to the Hungarian world record. We just need a few more.
Yes. Well, I'll see if I can drag Daisy out. I'll probably have to bribe her.
So many treats.
Yes. Thank you, Sam. Coming up, Kerry Washington and Omar Sy are here telling us about their new action thriller.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Dangerous weather on the move. Overnight, a tornado touching down in Texas.
That's a tornado.
Parts of Oklahoma underwater. A community cut in half after catastrophic damage. Now, Ginger is tracking the severe weather and flash flood threat from Texas to New York.
Breaking overnight, tariffs taking effect on packages from China under $800. We'll tell you what the end of the loophole means for your wallet.
Katy Perry claps back.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath.
What the pop star said about the backlash from her recent Blue Origin flight and Lifetime's tour.
It's gonna be a good day.
Plus, it's an action-packed morning here in Times Square with Kerry Washington teaming up with Omar Sy.
It's gonna be all right.
And Josh Groban is here talking about his new album, Vegas Residency. And he's got a special performance for us as he says,
Good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Good morning to you too, Josh Groban. You know, Josh is a great friend of GMA, and it's always special when he performs here. We love it. And we love it when Lori Bergamotto is here too. With the GMA 5K less than 2 weeks away, Lori B has the right stuff in running shoes. She's running in place just to show them off right there. She has shoes for beginners, for experienced runners, and walkers.
Lori is going the distance, and we look forward to catching up with her in a minute. Also ahead, a decision on Prince Harry's case. We have the latest from London.
First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the severe weather. Millions from Texas to New York are on alert. Ginger has the latest on that, including some deadly flash flooding in Oklahoma. Good morning, Ginger.
Yes, George, the power of water on display. You can see it here. This is Blanchard, Oklahoma. That road cut off. That means families are stuck on one side of that road. They're going to have to get folks boated over, I'm sure. But this was just one part of the severe storms. We also had the tornadoes and all of those high water rescues. This is from Lawton, Oklahoma. They had their wettest April on record, more than a foot above normal. There's the tornado that rolled across the hill country of Texas. Today, we could see tornadoes too. So this big front is going to have a lot of people involved, and the damaging wind is the main hazard. So San Antonio, Austin, I'm talking to you, over to Lufkin, Shreveport, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, Nashville, and even Louisville. And it comes with heavy rain, if you can imagine, because they have throughout the week. And these areas have been probably pretty saturated as well. So from northern Louisiana into southern Arkansas and even northern Mississippi, we're watching for this storm to make its way through today. And then eventually we get the rounds of wet here in New York as well. I'll come up with more on that in a bit, Michael.
All right, could be a wet weekend there, Ginger. Thank you. I'm going to turn now to Prince Harry, awaiting a verdict this morning in his long legal battle to fully reinstate his UK security. Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has more from Buckingham Palace. Good morning, Ian.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Well, we've just heard that Prince Harry has indeed lost his case against the UK government. A panel of 3 judges presiding, and one of them read out the judgment, saying he found Harry's arguments that when he lost his personal protection, his blanket protection, when he stepped down from the royal duties, had affected him, that he felt that he'd been treated differently, and that he was making arguments that he was still susceptible in a security point of view. But the judge ruled essentially that he couldn't rule that the decision that was taken, legally at least, was wrong. So the ball is, in some senses, back in Prince Harry's corner. He's going to be deeply disappointed about this. He can appeal the decision. We don't know yet if he will. As I say, remember, back in 2020, he stepped down. His blanket royal protection was then downgraded to a bespoke service. In other words, they will judge whether or not the security circumstances dictate that he should get it at the time. But bad news for his children. It means King Charles has not seen his grandchildren for 3 years. Rebecca?
And we know you'll continue to follow it for us, Ian. Thank you. We turn now to tariffs and a key exemption on inexpensive items from China, which ended overnight as Americans brace for a host of price hikes. Consumer correspondent Becky Worley joins us now with more. Good morning, Becky.
Rebecca, good morning. This is really going to change the way we shop. We're reflecting on those small dollar purchases that are shipped directly from China or Hong Kong. We're talking under $800 in value. They've been exempt from tariffs, but not anymore. Starting today, these items now face a tariff of 120% or a $100 per item flat fee. The White House says that rate increase will go up to $200 starting June 1st. So imagine a cute summer sundress that was $18 at Shein. It could now cost $218. And we expect this will have a big impact, not just on Temu and Shein. Many eBay, Etsy, and social media e-commerce sellers ship directly from China. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent said they processed over 1 billion of these packages coming into the U.S. That was in 2023. And the average value per package was $54. So today, that same average package would cost $118 and a lot more this summer.
Yeah, a big impact, Becky, on both consumers and also businesses, including small businesses that are trying to figure out what to do with all of this. American companies are starting to get really specific about what this means.
Yeah, when we look at those overall tariffs, folks in the retail sector are getting an idea of how this is going to impact them, and one that's being hit hard, baby products. Their industry group says 90% of core baby products or their parts come from China. So strollers and car seats. Retailer Albi Baby says 20 to 30% price increases will happen. Britax, Graco, Up a Baby, other strollers and car seats. They say that City Mini, this was the one that squired my kids around, it's going to increase in price from $399 to $479. Baby Gear, Munchkin, the maker of sippy cups and snack bowls, they say they're going to increase prices on about 90% of their products. And toys, about 80% of all toys come from China. So parents, this already expensive time of life is about to get even more expensive, Rebecca.
Yeah, people bracing for that, but also sort of coming to realize how much China is involved in so many of these products that we take for granted and that we need here in the United States, including baby goods.
You said it.
Thanks, Becky. Okay. Shifting gears now, the royal family is celebrating a special birthday. Princess Charlotte is 10 years old. Her mom, Princess Kate, marking the occasion by posting this photo Wow, she's so grown up. It captured her daughter in northern England earlier this year. Charlotte and her family just celebrated younger brother Louis' 7th birthday last week.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Charlotte. All right, coming up in our GMA morning menu, Katy Perry is firing back at the online critics of her space trip and her music. We'll tell you what she's saying now.
Also had Thunderbolts opens today. Reviews are in. Details coming up in Pop News.
Plus, Chef Leah Cohen is here for our celebration of AANHPI Heritage Month, showing us 2 of her favorite Filipino recipes that your family can make at home. And Sam is upstairs with 2 very special guests. Hey, Sam.
And we're eating, right, Rebecca? Because we're doing that segment, so we're eating. So it's Kerry Washington. We're not supposed to have favorites, but it's a GMA favorite, Kerry Washington. Omar Sy is here.
Yes, the great Omar Sy.
Do you want it? It's Shadow Forces, the movie. I'm so into this. It's an action thriller. Do you want to say it in French? Do you want to?
I say in English first because it's a dream.
Okay.
Good morning, America.
Yeah. Bonjour, America.
We'll be right back.
We're back now with our GMA cover story. Pop star Katy Perry is defending herself against some online critics who have called out the singer for her recent Blue Origin trip to space and her Lifetimes tour. Eva Pilgrim has the story for us. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Katy Perry is in the midst of her first tour in 7 years, but despite the excitement around her upcoming shows, she says she's feeling pretty beat up right now by recent criticisms, sharing a message with her fans.
This morning, Katy Perry fighting back against her critics from her sold-out world tour.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath.
The star posting on Instagram, "When the online world tries to make me a human piñata, I take it with grace and send them love, because I know so many people are hurting in so many ways, and the internet is very much so a dumping ground for unhinged and unhealed." Perry's comments coming after facing repeated public backlash. The recent firestorm ranging from her all-female Blue Origin space shuttle flight.
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love.
Her singing in space blasted by some as tone deaf. This after the former American Idol judge's latest album sparked controversy. The issue? Perry collaborated with Dr. Luke on the music. The producer was accused by singer Kesha of abuse in 2014, a claim he has denied. The two settled a defamation lawsuit last year. Perry talking about working with him on the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Look, I understand that it started a lot of conversations, and he was one of many collaborators that I collaborated with, but the reality is it comes from me.
Despite the scrutiny, Perry's still feeling a lot of love, selling out stadiums on her current world tour.
As a pop star, you expect this sort of behavior from people online. But as she said in her statement as well, she understands what is real and what is important to her. And even if the people online are saying one thing, she sees what's real every night when she's on tour, seeing her fans singing in unison, reading her notes, and feeling that warmth in person.
Perry saying she's grateful to her fans, going on to write, "I'm not perfect. I'm on a human journey playing the game of life with an audience of many, and sometimes I fall, but I get back up and go on and continue to play the game. And somehow, through my battered and bruised adventure, I keep looking to the light, and in that light, a new level unlocks."
Now, Perry will be on tour for the rest of the year. She has about 80 shows to go. Her last concert is in December in Abu Dhabi. Michael.
All right, Eva, thank you for that. And time now for Pop News with Sam.
It's Friday, everybody. Does everybody feel that? Ready for Friday feel? All right, let's get this Pop News started this morning with superstar Tom Cruise, as every Pop News should, revealing how he pulls off those Mission Impossible stunts. Now, get this. He's 62, opening up to People magazine saying one of the secrets is a huge breakfast. I mean, a huge breakfast. Here it is. Before he shoots stunts, he has nearly a dozen eggs with sausage and bacon, toast, and he makes sure to hydrate. Tom says the reason he eats so much, and check with your doctor before you eat like Tom, is because he ends up burning a lot of calories during each take. So that's Tom's breakfast of champion. Gary, if you will, hashtag bring coffee.
Oh, Gary.
For a minor champion, thank you, Gary. For a little champion, this is all I need. Coffee. Gary, here's the rest of Pop News. Let's go. So this morning, our next story is giving us a morning jolt as well. Marvel is bringing up the thunder with their newest team of anti-heroes making their big screen debut overnight, striking like lightning bolts into theaters nationwide. At midnight, fans and critics are already loving this movie, guys. NPR calling it the action-adventure, a misfit hit. And that's a good thing, is what they mean. And the BBC says it's the greatest Marvel offering in years. Wow. That's big news. And Thunderbolts is already making history, breaking the record for the longest, post-credit scenes. It's in all movies now. Any of the 35 Marvel Cinematic Universe films, clocking in at 2 minutes and 54 seconds. And all that really means is that you cannot leave the theater until all the credits. Right. Do not get up. Stay for the whole thing.
They're going to end up making the credits as long as the movie pretty soon.
It's definitely an extra hour. All right, Thunderbolts is in theaters everywhere now. Also in pop news this morning, a glamorous night for good at a star-studded event in Los Angeles for the Alliance of Children's Rights, an organization dedicated to supporting children in foster care. And they held their annual Champion for Children event, which honors the important work of the organization and the impact it has on young people and families that are in the foster care system. John Landgraf, chairman of FX Content and Productions, and his wife, Allie Walker, received the Distinguished Champion for Children Award, and they were joined at the event by stars including Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, Caitlin Olsen, Rob McElhenney, Walt Disney Entertainment co-chair Dana Walden, and so many more. The Alliance has been advocating for children in foster care for 33 years, and those children and family need all of our love, care, and support. Huge congrats to all of the night's honorees and the incredible work that they do for
big
families.
night.
Yeah, big night. All right, and finally this morning, because it's Friday, and let's get on our way to the weekend, we have details on season 2 of the Emmy-winning series Shogun. As a reminder, it set an Emmys record with 18 wins, and now FX has announced that season 2 of the show will officially begin production in Vancouver in January 2026. Hiroyuki Sanada, who won the Emmy for the Best Lead Actor in a Drama last year, will be back. He will also serve as the executive producer on this season. But guys, guess what? Here's big news. Also returning is Cosmo Jarvis. According to FX, the show will pick up 10 years after the events of the first season. Shogun was such a huge surprise, winner and all of that.
Excellent.
And gorgeously done.
Thanks for bringing the prop back.
I like how you keep lifting it up between each story.
To be honest, they broke the handle, so it's just barely glued on. I'm afraid to hold
Come on,
it.
Gary.
Gary, do you want to?
We got to get you back on camera, buddy.
But
You're retired.
I didn't break it.
You are retired. We got to let everybody know.
I didn't drop it and I didn't break it.
Thank goodness. Let's go to Ginger.
You know what, Gary? I'm going to need that. Bring that thing over here because I need a little bit more Gary in my life, and I definitely need Okay.
We turn now to the right stuff. Our first GMA 5K fun run is less than 2 weeks away, and Lori Bergamato is here with sneakers to get everyone from beginners to experienced runners geared up and ready to run with us. And of course, they're all shoppable on our website and at that QR code. Lori, it's great to see you. You're ready to run. You're excited for the fun run. So what should we be looking for overall in a running shoe?
Okay, so I actually went to an expert on this, a certified ultra marathon running coach.
All right,
Elizabeth,
we trust that.
Yes, she was amazing. Elizabeth Corkum. She's known as Coach Corky on the internet. She's very popular. And what she told me actually really surprised me, which was that comfort is paramount. And she said, listen, running is hard. I was thrilled to hear that the running coach said that, right?
Is? Okay.
Because it can be. But she said, if you have a sneaker that's comfortable and you're not thinking about it, she said, if you are thinking too much about your running shoe, you're in the wrong running shoe. It should just feel like an extension of your body. And then we talked through some little key points. So I'm excited to show you what we've got for beginning runners, walkers.
So where you are in your running journey, it can make a difference with which shoe you choose.
Absolutely. And so this is from Brooks. You may have seen this one because it is their best seller throughout their entire line. People know the brand Brooks is an innovator for running. These are the Brooks Ghost 16. So this is their bestseller, as I said. They're known for comfort. And if you're walking, because you can walk our GMA 5K as well, or you can, do a slow jog. This is going to be great for that because they have a low profile and they're just extremely comfortable. Go ahead and feel inside there. That's a nitrogen infused cushioning. Think about like bubbles in soda. You know what I mean? Like you just get that extra little lift. So these are fantastic. And today, Rebecca, they launched the Brooks Ghost 17. So just extra comfort
Okay,
and
so if you already
durability
have
there.
a pair,
Yeah.
you get the
can
new
level
ones.
up. So
Okay.
those are great from
And they're
Brooks.
light too.
They
I
are,
like that.
exactly. And speaking of light, so if you are already a bit of a jogger and you want to kind of level up to the next thing, so jogging, running, these are from Hoka. Everybody on set today was very excited about these. They're like, oh, are those, because I'm wearing them. And everybody kept saying, oh, are those comfortable? And I can confirm, very comfortable.
Yes.
So these are the Clifton 10s. This is the next generation of their Clifton 9. They're making their television debut. They just launched 2 weeks ago, and they're known for that lightweight responsiveness. Coach Corky told us you want happy feet, happy ankles, happy shins, and one of the ways you do that is to make sure that you have that lightweight cushioning and that energy responsiveness.
Energy responsiveness helps you keep propelling you forward.
Keep going, that's right. So these are from Saucony, and actually I hadn't known about Saucony and what a great brand they are until Coach Corky said to me, you know what you should really check out because they're doing some amazing things, is Saucony. So I was really excited about the Ride 18, and largely in part because they have this power run foam on the bottom. And again, when we're talking about energy responsiveness, when we're talking about cushioning, but you also want stability and durability if you're going to run in any kind of a race.
Yes.
You want that steadiness, and the Sauconys are really going to be able to give you that. So we love
my
that.
father-in-law is a runner. He runs marathons. He wears those.
Oh,
so I'm familiar with those from him.
Okay, speaking of marathons, this is the Nike Vaporfly 4. Pick up this shoe and tell me how light. Here, this one. How light it is. Try this one.
This
baby.
one. Third time's a charm.
It's so lightweight.
It's so
this
light.
actually has one of those carbon plates in them. You may have heard about this for performance shoes. And what that basically does, think about like a moving people walkway.
Oh,
in the
sure,
air.
yeah.
It's going to help give you that propelling forward, that energy propulsion. Runners love these because it has a running economy, so you can keep your pace and expend less energy. These are incredible from Nike. They are over $200. So if you're looking for a value pick, if you're like, you know what, I don't want to make the investment quite yet.
Yes.
These are from ASICS. These are incredible. They have a great foam. This is their Gel Excite
I have
10.
these.
Do you really?
I love them.
These are under $70, really comfortable, really cushioned, durable as well. So this is also a great pick if you're just getting into the game.
Yeah,
and we
mean,
want you to.
Sometimes I dance in them too.
Ooh,
I
we
don't
love
just run in
dancing
them. I
shoes.
like to dance in them. Lori, thank you.
you.
Really appreciate it. All of these products are shoppable at goodmorningamerica.com. And coming up, we have Kerry Washington and Omar Sy. They're here to tell us about their action-packed new movie. Stay with us.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
We're back now on GMA, and we're excited because she handled that scandal as Olivia Pope. Now, Kerry Washington is teaming up with Omar Sy for Shadow Force, and they're both here to bring the action to Times Square. Give it up to Kerry and Omar, everybody. Yes.
Bravo.
Yes. And Kerry, this is unlike anything we've ever seen you do.
I know, it's pretty crazy. I mean, about 20 years ago, believe it or not, I played a supporting character in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And I really fell in love with doing action, but I haven't had the opportunity. But the great thing about producing is you get to create opportunities for yourself. So I knew when I read the script that it was something I wanted to be a part of.
And tell us about the movie. What's the movie about?
So we play former assassins, vigilantes, part of a team called Shadow Force. And we broke the rules, fell in love. I got pregnant, as happens, and sometimes. And then we have to leave the team and go on the run to protect our son from the very force that we used to be a part of.
And you found out about this, Omar, in a very modern way, but an Instagram message from Kerry?
Yes. So on my DM, I saw a message from Kerry Washington. Is it true? So I had to triple check to make sure it was her, and I inserted, and we started this adventure just like that.
How did you know about Omar?
I mean, Lupin is incredible, but Untouchables, like he's had such an incredible career. You know, he's won the France's version of the Best Actor for film, and he's so talented. He's not hard to look at. And so when you get to cast your own husband, you're like, I want the best of the best. And so when he was reading the script, I was so nervous, but he loved it, and I was like, this is great.
And I tell you what, his DM's a lot more interesting than ours, George. I'll tell you that much. We're gonna take a look at a clip. Let's check it out.
Well, can I hear it?
No, maybe we just enjoy the quiet.
Come on, Dad. Play it for Mama.
Come on, Dad.
Want to hear it, Mama?
Yes, I do. I really, 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 really do.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to have you near me.
Oh man, it is so clear you guys have such great chemistry there. And you hadn't met before you started working together?
We hadn't met, no. We were just fans from afar. But also, I need to say, that little boy who plays our son, Jaleel is so talented.
Clearly,
he steals the whole movie, but we are happy to give it to him. Yeah.
And there's a lot of action in this movie. You're trained assassins, you know,
Yes,
basically. You
yes.
had to do all the training. 6 a.m. boxing and a special martial arts you had to learn them.
Yeah. So boxing, Wing Chun is the type of kung fu that we had to train like early in the morning and again in the afternoon. Like we have like stunts on our own and stunts together, just all day. But it was really good. Yeah.
Not just how to shoot a weapon, how to load the weapon, clean the weapon, hold it realistically.
Yeah, it was like a camp, you know. And before shooting, I think it was a good way to start to know each other, trust each other. It was a very good process. Yeah,
It's where some of that chemistry, I think, evolved from, was the training together. Even like the couple in the film, they're a bit competitive, so we got a bit competitive in our training, which was good.
I got to ask you about something else. We teased this the other day on Pop News with Wisteria Lane.
Yes.
Might be coming back?
Yes, we are working. You know, I'm such a huge fan of the original Desperate Housewives and Mark Cherry and that whole crew. So we're excited to be in development on kind of a what would Wisteria Lane be now?
That is interesting.
Yeah, we cannot wait for that.
And now, Omar, this is your first time on GMA.
Yes, first time.
Wow.
Yeah, yes.
Well, you know, we got a little gift for you. And Carrie, we got one for you, too.
What?
Yeah, because you've been here many times and we love you here. So there you go.
Never give me gifts.
And our guy, and then you got a special delivery from Gary here. You know, and Gary's retiring. So
good morning,
wait.
And there we go.
I saw Gary has a bigger one, though.
Yeah. Oh, you need more coffee.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to work on the big
We had a good cafe au lait for
Cheers.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah, we're so excited. Cannot wait to see Shadow Force.
May 9th, Mother's Day weekend.
You don't even have to. I only have to do my job. Because Carrie just did it for me. Shadow Force in theaters next Friday, May 9th, Mother's Day weekend. That's right. Carrie said it. You do it.
Now we're shining bright for AA and HPI Heritage Month. Chef and owner of Pig and Cow and Piggyback right here restaurants, Leah Cohen is here.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to see you here, and we're gonna do some traditional Filipino recipes, so everyone can do this at home if they want to do it, and it smells delicious.
Thank you.
Ooh, it really does. All right,
Yeah.
so let's get started.
Okay.
We're working on a traditional stir-fried noodle dish. Let's get it right, because I don't want your mom to be mad at me.
She's gonna be mad at me no matter what. I butcher the pronunciation.
Pancit. Bihun.
Yeah.
All right.
Did I say it right, Mom?
Mom?
Probably not. Okay.
We good? All right. All right, so these are amazing flavors. Tell us how we get them.
Okay, so we have some onions and we have some garlic and some oil, and we're gonna saute that.
That's what smells so good.
So good. If you want to get like real traditional, we could do some chicken fat instead of the oil, but regular oil is totally fine. And then once that gets nice and brown, then we have our other vegetables. So we have the carrots and we have some cabbage here. And so we're gonna cook this. We want it to be kind of still crunchy. We want it to have some texture. And then we have our pancit, which means noodles in Tagalog.
Okay, got it.
And these are rice noodles. And what you want to make sure you do is they're dry traditionally, and then you want to soak them in warm water to kind of rehydrate them. But
so they look fresher feel, right?
Yes, exactly. But you don't want to pour boiling water on it. Sometimes people like pre-boil them and then
overcooks it.
Yep, exactly.
Gets mushy.
Exactly. So you don't want to do that. So we're going to add that in. And then we're going to season it with, we have some chicken stock. And that is gonna like be absorbed by the noodles, some soy sauce.
Oh, yay.
And then just a little bit of salt and black pepper.
All right.
Filipinos love their black pepper.
Why, when you cook cabbage, does it smell this delicious?
You gotta get it charred.
Okay, got it. Because
charred
something's
cabbage
going
is
on.
great.
It smells amazing.
That's a good point. There's also a way that you can make this easier, a store-bought solution that just really streamlines all of this.
Yes, so my hack is doing a store-bought rotisserie chicken and really good chicken bone broth.
off. Yes.
Right. I honestly, I love roasted chicken from a supermarket. It's great.
So does Sam, apparently.
And then at the very end, we're going to add in our sugar snap peas.
Oh, is this going in there?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
One left.
Yeah, it's fine. And some chicken.
All right.
I'm going to save you a little just so you have something to snack on.
Thank you.
And this is really good because you can add in whatever vegetables you want. You don't have to be, super strict on them. And I have little kids, and so it's a great way to sneak in the veggies. And they don't know what they're eating, and it's great.
I know that, Kate. and I like that you're putting these in later. Again, they're not going to get mushy.
Not going to get
stay
mushy.
crisp.
Yes.
Delicious.
Yes.
And so this is the finished product.
And this is the finished product, and I always love just adding a little bit of citrus. So you can either do lemon, you can do lime.
It really does kick the flavor.
It really does, and traditionally the Philippines, they'll use calamansi, which is a Filipino citrus, but we don't have that, so it's a little combination of the two.
Okay.
And we just squeeze that on top, and it brightens everything up.
How are the restaurants going? Because I can't get in, but now that I've met you.
I mean, now you're the hookup, so you're good.
Maybe I can get in.
So do you.
Thank you.
But I mean, like, everybody's trying to get there.
Yeah.
I guess it's the flavors.
I mean, it's the flavor. Also, it's a brand new restaurant, so everyone wants what's hot and what's new. We just opened our third restaurant at the Upper West Side, Pig and Cow, 433 Amsterdam Avenue. Yes.
In my old neighborhood.
Oh, is that where you?
Yeah,
okay, it's great.
Yeah, so I can get there.
It's such a good neighborhood.
I've got another couple weeks. It's gorgeous up there. It really is.
And then we're opening in Philly as well. So I'm a busy
you've got
woman.
options. You are a busy woman. And you also brought us one more thing. This is lumpia.
Yeah, so lumpia is a traditional Filipino spring roll. It is not a Filipino party unless there's lumpia and pancit at the party. If they don't have it, leave the party. You don't want to be there. And so it's a spring roll, and it's filled with any ground pork or any ground meat, rather. You could do chicken, turkey, and then a few just aromatics, garlic, ginger, water chestnuts, and we have a sweet chili sauce on the side.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
How do you get this so crispy?
So you have to have the right wrappers. You want to make sure they're spring roll wrappers. You don't want like an egg roll wrapper. Those are too thick.
Okay.
And then when you rest them after you fry them, put them on a rack. And if you put them like directly on a plate, there will be condensation and the heat, and it just makes anything fried not crispy.
The top is crispy, but the bottom's, that's exactly where I mess it up.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so put it on a rack. I have tried it.
Yeah.
One of the few things I have. Rebecca's looking at me like, I don't even believe it.
I'm impressed that you tried this once before, Sam.
All right.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
Anything else that your family would love to have in a meal like this?
I mean, so just growing up, I would eat, my mom is from the Philippines, so we ate a ton of Filipino food. These are the most traditional, but chicken adobo is another one that is so easy for people to make, and you can find the recipe in my cookbook.
All right.
Excellent.
This is so fresh and so delicious and exactly the way I love to eat. And look at those colors. You can get these recipes on goodmorningamerica.com. Let's go to Ginger. Ginger, thank you, by the way.
You know, Sam, Rebecca, if you need a +1 to that invite you just got,
deal. Come on.
I'm around. I'm saying I'm available. I love citrus and noodles. Okay, we are wrapping up Disney's Week of Wishes with Dreams. Setting sail, 3 incredible kids. This is so cool from Make-A-Wish. Anthony D. Donato, Cara Betancourt, and Delaney Binkerin, along with their families, embarked on an adventure with Disney Cruise Lines. The ship, fittingly named Disney Wish. Disney has become the world's largest wish granter for Make-A-Wish, and amazingly, granting a wish every hour of every day. If you want to help and make wishes come true, point your cell phone right there at that QR code or go to wish.org/Disney.
We have a big treat. We love it when you're here. Josh Groban.
He's got a lot going on. We're going to tell you about a residency. He's going to sing a little bit while he's here. It's because we've got the equipment. We
have the technology. We might as well.
Yes. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 5-time Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and actor Josh Groban is here with a new retrospective album, Gems, featuring some of his greatest hits. He's going to sing a song from it in just a moment. But first, we chat. It is great to see you.
It's great to see you, too. Thank you for having me this early morning. Always great to see you.
It is always. We were just looking at the clip from 2003 this morning. You were a baby.
I mean, I couldn't believe it when I put that on there. I mean, you truly have been a home for me for so many years. And so to come back and to celebrate all these songs 25 years later is so fun.
And the new album, Gems.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's I'm always looking forward to what's next. And so to be able to time out for a second and look back on, all of the amazing adventures that my fans have allowed me to have, it's very special to do.
It is also amazing to have like truly live music with beautiful voice, your beautiful voice.
This group.
I'm telling you, we heard this in the commercial break, and you guys are in for a treat. Now, you've got a Vegas residency coming up. Is it the Coliseum?
At the Coliseum, yeah. It's kind of a special engagement, doing 5 nights there, and that's the house that Celine built. It's an amazing venue, incredible artists.
Are there sparkles? Do we have?
Oh, there's some. Let me tell you something.
Feathers?
This is the last jacket I'm going to have on for a minute that doesn't have sparkles and sequins on it.
All right.
Yeah, I've got like 5 tux changes in that show. It's going to be amazing. There might be some grand illusions. I might turn into a tiger. You never know in Las Vegas, but you don't want to miss it.
We don't want to miss this next song coming up because it kind of. I saw everyone singing it this morning, and everyone here has a smile on their face.
Yeah.
When you can't help but sing "Be All Right" with a smile.
Sometimes you need to sing it before you believe it. And this is a song that I needed to write to feel it because I was feeling it then. I'm feeling it certainly now.
Yeah.
And so if it's one of those that brings a smile to someone's face, that's all that matters to me.
I think it's going to.
Thank you. Absolutely. And now you can check it out for yourself. Let's hear it. Gems is available in stores and online. And now here's Josh Groban singing the first single, "Be All Right."
Thank you.
Yeah.
And happy birthday, Mom. This is for anybody who needs to hear it this morning. And you know who you are.
I know you feel it on your own, and the night is never ending. I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. I hear the message that you're sending. 'Cause even when it hurts, sometimes you find your way to the other side. Even when it hurts sometimes. When it seems tomorrow may not come, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. When it seems you don't have anyone, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Yeah, you and me, we're gonna be alright. Alright. 'Cause the sun will shine on tomorrow. And it won't be hard to follow. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. When it seems you don't have anyone, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Yeah, you and me, we're gonna be alright. Alright. Yeah, you and me, we're gonna be alright.
Big thank you to Josh Groban. They're always great to have him here. And before we go, we'd also like to say goodbye and thank you to Matt Pearton, one of our studio engineers. He has been with GMA for over 10 years. We wish him the best. He's returning home to the UK. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Safe travel.
Safe travels,
We
man.
appreciate you, Matt. Thank
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Have a great weekend, everybody.